Like always, today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors: gluten-free diet water, premium junk clothing, Williamson wines, Good Dudes coffee. Gluten-free diet water. Stay hydrated with a refreshing twist. Perfect for those health-conscious listeners. Premium junk clothing, for those who love to express their unique style with high-quality fashion pieces. Visit premiumjunkclothing.com and use code EverydayGSD15 at checkout. Williamson Wine, natural artisan wine from Napa and Sonoma. Good Dudes Coffee, veteran-owned by former Navy SEAL Josh Bridges. Every cup is brewed with passion and dedication to quality. Visit their website at gooddudescoffee.com and use discount code EverydayGSD10 for an exclusive offer. And also, don't forget to visit the Everyday GSD store at darinbibeau.com for all your official Everyday GSD merchandise. And now, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Everyday GSD podcast. This is our restaurant edition. As you guys know, we've done a couple restaurant owners, and today's special guest is Jeremiah Hamman, who's also a friend of mine, who actually I've known you for several years, but I've got a bio on you that I'm going to let the audience hear. And then if I say anything wrong, just correct me. That's how we do it. There's, we can always delete and add stuff later, but sure. I think I've got some things dialed in on you. And I must add, too, for the listeners, everyone knows I have a charity called Sweep Away Cancer. You have been helping us year after year for many years. And I'm going to throw some numbers at you guys a little bit later of how much we've raised approximately with your organization through your philanthropy. So I must say thank you on behalf of everyone that you've been able to touch through Sweep Away Cancer, and obviously because of our relationship, and your team does an awesome job. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
we
now
love it.
I love it. We're going to jump into this. So Jeremiah is a seasoned restaurant. I always say it wrong, Justin. Restaurateur. How did I do? Restaurateur. Entrepreneur, philanthropist with decades of experience in the hospitality industry. Jeremiah has built a reputation for not only creating exceptional dining experience, but also for cultivating teams that thrive under strong leadership and relentless work ethic. And I can attest to that because I've been to your restaurant many times over the years, and you have you've dialed it in. I'll just put it that way. We'll get into details later. Your restaurant journey started with grit, rising through the ranks from kitchen floors to ownership, driven by a commitment to quality, service, and community. Today, you own and operate one of the most respected establishments in the region, known not only for its great food, but for its culture that you've built around it. Prime 47 in Carmel, and will soon be opening, if I'm not wrong, a new location in Greenwood, which is on the south side of Indianapolis, and in the near future, Fishers is on the docket.
Yeah, we're growing.
We're growing. I love it.
You're the first person to break the Greenwood story. Everybody's been calling and asking. I've not confirmed nor denied. So congratulations.
Awesome. This is
love an exclusive.
Yeah, I love an exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremiah's story doesn't stop at the front door of the business. His fierce advocate for giving back. He's a fierce advocate for giving back, actively involved in multiple charitable organizations, as I mentioned, one of them, which is my charity you've done so much for, but from local food drives, veteran causes, and fundraising events that directly impact the community you serve. You believe that success isn't just measured by what you build, but by who you help doing it along the way. Your entire journey embodies what this podcast is all about. Jeremiah Hamman gets up every single day and gets shit done, not for the spotlight, but for the people, the purpose, and the legacy that you're committed to creating. I must mention again about
I should hire you as my PR rep.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Elizabeth, who is your events coordinator.
Yeah, she runs all events.
She has done such a phenomenal job for my charity, and I know you guys do monthly charitable causes, but specifically for ours, you guys have done such a great job. Okay, let's dive into here about how your everyday GSD lifestyle, one plate, one person, and one purpose at a time. You're married to Nisa, beautiful wife, also the chief marketing officer for your company.
And my boss.
And your boss, absolutely. Jonica's mine. And you have 6 beautiful kids, and you also foster kids.
We do. Yeah,
awesome.
We got placement this morning at 3:30.
3:30.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for taking time away from your extremely busy schedule for being on this series. We're excited about it. And let's dive in, okay?
Let's go.
So you were, a little kid. You wanted to go in the restaurant business. Like, how did it all start?
I tell everybody I wasn't smart enough to do anything else. It's kind of in jest, but it's true. I tried to go to college and go that route. And, I was playing basketball and having some fun, and and ended up pregnant with my oldest son, Nick, who's soon to be 20. He just turned 27.
And all your kids are beautiful.
They are. They luckily they look like their moms.
Yeah. I mean, your wife's beautiful, but my wife's beautiful too, which we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention about your kids. I've seen a lot of them growing up working in your restaurant, and you're teaching them discipline and work ethic daily just by being around you.
Yeah, it's the goal. I mean, I always tell them I don't really want you in the restaurant business. It's not extraordinarily conducive to a family life. There's not a lot of balance there when you're building and creating and running a restaurant 5-6 nights a week, as I did. But hopefully, they end up running a business one day, from an office somewhere, and employ the teams that we have and work with them and help them continue to grow the legacy.
I mean, that's the goal, right?
That's it.
Build for the future.
That's it. It's all about legacy.
Yeah.
It's not about right now, and this time it's just about a foundation that changes generations.
Right. So you build the foundation, and on top of the foundation, the first floor, second floor, third floor.
That's it.
And the generations of children are part of that whole structure and that building.
That's it.
I mean, that's truly everyday GSD right there. I guess we could wrap up the show, Justin. That was quick.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see you later. Let's talk about, so you're working in the restaurant industry. What are you, like 17, 18 years old, 20 years old? When's the first time you got involved?
I started at 15 at McDonald's,
okay,
of all places. Actually, 14 at a restaurant called Zorba's, a little Greek breakfast place, washing dishes on Saturday and Sunday from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And
Saturdays and Sundays because you were in school Monday through Friday.
Correct, yeah.
Right.
It was close enough I could ride my bike there and wash dishes with a bunch of nasty old Greek men cooking. And you kind of learned very quickly, you're not in Kansas anymore. This is a different environment. It's a different world. Fast-paced, hard work, and you learn how to just basically do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Right.
And, being a dishwasher, you sometimes end up cooking eggs. You end up peeling potatoes. You end up mopping floors, cleaning toilets. It wasn't. I wouldn't have it any other way than that to be my introduction into the business, because you truly learn to appreciate every single person on your team and take no one for granted.
Well, it's funny you say that, and I don't mean laugh out loud funny, but it's a trend when we're talking to restaurant owners. And I'm going to say restaurant owners, the quality of a restaurant owner like yourself, that every single one of them has this very similar story, like that they all started with, I don't want to call it the lowest job, but the beginning job.
Sure.
And they understand all the jobs all the way through.
Yep. And that's imperative.
It's imperative.
It really is. Otherwise, you end up disconnected, and you're not really building a team.
Right.
You're just kind of employing people. And our team at Prime here in Carmel, they're a family. We treat them like family. We give servers paid vacations. We do things that nobody else does.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I feel responsible for not just their livelihood, but that of the children they're raising, their spouses.
Right.
And it really is it's a commitment to people.
Right.
And, everybody in the restaurant business says, we're committed to people. And everybody conflates that with we're committed to our guests. But without our frontline staff being happy and healthy, our guest experience isn't near what we need it to be. So we start with every employee, and we really pour into them, spiritually, emotionally, and we get to know them. And sometimes that makes it hard. Right. Sometimes you do have to, you have to let people go. You have to pivot. You have to do things.
But you guys have low turnover.
We have very low turnover, but, most of our turnover is with newer people that are trying to get into the team. And in spite of how thorough our interview process is, we don't interview people trying to sell them on us. We interview them trying to scare them away from us.
Okay.
We tell them everything that they're going to endure and everything that could go wrong and how hard it is to work there, because at the end of the day, you mentioned our culture in the opening statement, and culture's everything. The worst thing somebody could tell me as a guest is, man, I went to your place. It's just not the same if you're not there. If I hear that, that's an insult to me, because that means I didn't do my job. I didn't empower my team. I didn't build a team. I don't have the right people, because the dining experience should be exemplary whether I'm there or not. It should not depend on me.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's a great statement. I can attest to someone. I frequent your restaurant quite a bit, and
You can't walk there though. Come on.
Unfortunately, I can't walk there.
We need Mayor Finkham, we need a golf path from from here to there.
Who knows?
Only a couple miles.
They're probably working on that.
They might be. With gold-plated signs. And a bunch of monuments.
But Ubers are cheap. But I will say though, I've never been in your restaurant when you weren't there. I always ask for you every time I'm there, right? Yeah. If I sit in the restaurant bar, if I'm bringing some friends from out of town or customers, and I ask if you're there, and if you're not there, nothing is. The difference is you're just not there.
Yeah.
To come over and say hi, but nothing changes with the food, the way I'm being treated. Yeah, that's great. And I think that's important because I've been to a lot of restaurants that when the owner's not there, it's kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
Or and a bit disastrous, and you're just like, God, I wish he or she would be back here because, I liked it when this is done right.
That's one of the reasons it's taken us so long to commit to growth. Frankly, it's building a team, a deep team.
Right.
Where the next man is ready to step up, next man or woman is ready to step up, next person can fill that role. And we feel we finally achieved that, and we have a deep bench, and we have some great people that work for us every day, and it couldn't be possible without them.
Yeah, and it couldn't be possible without your leadership and your ability to show them that your grit, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, your grit and your hard work, they see that, so they're not like, oh, he's never done this, or he doesn't do this.
Yeah,
I don't have to do that.
Man, there was a day last year. In December, we turned over a chef December 6th. Awful day in the business. We made it through. I don't think we
maybe before Christmas, huh?
Yeah, we didn't hurt too many guests, I don't think, but it was a bad day. My wife was literally in a dress, came up to have dinner with me. I was on the line cooking. She was in her dress, wearing a plastic apron, washing dishes.
Yeah.
It was chaotic, but that's what it takes. And this podcast is perfect because it's not just get shit done. It's get whatever done needs to be done in that moment. And, we're not above that. We actually enjoy those days. We laugh about them later and we left hungry, but fulfilled.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys grabbed dinner another night together.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 16 years old, 15 years old. You're leaving the Greek restaurant. What brings you next? Where are you?
I went to McDonald's. Yeah. I have no idea why. I was there for quite a while. It was an experience, much different environment than what I'm in currently. And soon thereafter I left to Arby's, and by the time I was 18, I was actually managing a store while I was still in high school as a general manager of an Arby's. Yeah. And making $305 a week.
Whoa, what were you doing with all your money?
Yeah, I had already moved out of my parents' house before I graduated high school, and I was paying rent and a car payment and going to high school and working nights, and didn't exactly lead to great grades.
Right.
But, we made it through.
Right.
Yeah.
So you end up getting out of high school. Did you end up going to college for a little bit, give it a shot?
I took a 2-year break. I tried a couple of different industries. I ended up at a lumber yard. I worked in a refractory plant. You know what that is?
I do, because we make refractory panels in my manufacturing company.
Man, dirtiest job I ever
had. And I was going to say,
Holy
it's messy.
I ended up moving in with my uncle because he got me the job there. It was a buddy of his that ran the plant. He was an executive with Inland Steel at the time. And so I ended up getting this job, and it's paying like $28 an hour, and I'm getting all this overtime, and life is good. And in 90 days, you get to join the union. And I'm looking around at all these guys that are 50, 60 years old and not the kind of guy, nothing wrong with it, but not the kind of guy I wanted to be when I was 50 or 60.
Yeah.
And I hadn't had a date in 90 days. I hadn't even met a girl. I'm coming home, I have to take 3 showers. You're still dirty. You're exhausted. And you got a healthy bank account. But I literally walked into an Applebee's to watch Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls, greatest team ever.
Shout out.
At the bar. And there was like five women there that I was like, wow, I forgot what y'all look like, and they had a sign, hiring bartenders, and I'd never bartended. My only restaurant experience was fast food, and I applied, and they didn't hire me as a bartender, but they hired me as a server. And I quit the job at the refractory plant on the 90th day when they wanted me to join the union. My uncle booted me because I ruined his reference.
Right.
So I'm back in another apartment, struggling to pay bills, and ultimately that led to me deciding to go to college. I just by luck was playing pickup basketball at a health club, which I now had time to do and didn't when I was at the refractory plant.
Right.
And a guy comes up to me and says, my brother coaches a team in Rockford, Illinois, and he could use you. 4 days later, I drove out, tried out, was 25 pounds overweight, completely out of shape. They offered me a scholarship. So I took it. I left within a month to go play basketball and did that for 2 years. Worked at TGI Fridays in the kitchen, in the off season.
Right.
So
still staying in the restaurant world.
Yep. Had met my 2 oldest boys' mother and 3 boys' mother, and she got pregnant, and we decided to relocate to Indianapolis. It was closer to her family, closer to my family. I was recruited by Indiana State, and they changed coaches that summer.
Now, did you play basketball in high school too?
No, I didn't.
So I wanted to throw that in there because I didn't think you did.
I was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, the coach didn't like me. I was certainly talented enough.
Right. Well, obviously, if you're playing in college.
But at about 13, I had decided I was smarter than the adults in my life.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. And I really didn't have a lot of respect for authority. There's a lot of 13-year-olds don't.
Right.
So that didn't really bode well with the coach. I did later. I played against his son in a league and scored 67 on him and blew him a kiss every time I hit a 3. So I kind of got my revenge on the coach and embarrassed his son, who actually played Division I basketball. He was about 3 years younger than me, but I think he got the point.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you're working part-time on the weekends, helping pay bills while you're in school. So you end up leaving school, and what's your next career path in the industry?
I end up down in Indianapolis at TGI Fridays in Greenwood.
Okay.
And now we're opening right across the street from that location. So
same location?
No, right across the street.
That's what I mean. Same area.
City. It was 100 yards away.
That's crazy.
So it was in the mall, Greenwood Mall. It was a very, very, very busy TGI Fridays. And they put me in the kitchen, and I became a kitchen supervisor. And then Hard Rock Cafe opened up and recruited me because there's different types of kitchen setups. And one of them some of them have what's called an outside expo.
Okay.
And that is literally the guy that gets shit done.
Right.
Like, the restaurant does not flow without a good outside expo. He's
Right.
pulling in all of the food from 6 different stations, organizing it, traying it so it can be ran according to seat number and timing. He controls the timing. She, it's always usually he. You got to be tall, have long arms. That's a good attribute.
It's a good attribute.
You can reach without taking 27 steps to this window and everything. So, but he controls the timing for everybody's dinner in the whole restaurant. And if you can get food out at that casual level in 12 to 14 minutes, then your sales are 25% higher because you're always on a wait, and the wait is as long as you can turn tables.
Right.
And I was really good at it, and somehow Hard Rock heard about me when they opened downtown, and the GM and the AGM came in and recruited me and offered me, way more money than I was making in Greenwood. So I took that job. Yeah.
So now you're at Hard Rock.
Correct.
And that's downtown Indy.
That is downtown Indy.
Yep. So you're managing?
I was a kitchen manager.
Right.
That basically,
which is the back of the house stuff.
I did ordering. Yeah, I did ordering, inventory, and ran 5 shifts a week. I was Tuesday through Saturday nights, the busier nights, and controlled the pace of that restaurant for about 90 days.
So at what point did you open up Moe's, a place for steaks? And for those people that aren't from around here that listen to the show, because we have listeners all over the world, Moe's is a very nice steakhouse, or was a very nice steakhouse. Yeah. Downtown Indy, we have some of the best steakhouses in the Midwest, or I'll say in the country. Yours being one of them, but Moe's was a nice place.
Real quick, I shouldn't forget. I left Hard Rock to go to Morton's.
Okay, Morton's
of Chicago.
Pewter Pigs.
Yeah, the Pewter Pigs.
Yeah.
When they opened up in October of '99, and at that point, I decided I didn't want to be in the restaurants. It was like, my third attempt to get out of restaurants.
Yeah,
I left Arby's. I went to a lumberyard. I went to a refractory plant.
You're giving everything a shot.
Yeah, I wanted a day job.
I
wanted
the
a 9 to 5, be home at night, day job like my friends had. They were doing all these things at night, and I was working.
Right.
And by the time I met up with them, they were either home or too drunk to have a good time with.
Right.
So I was playing catch up a lot, which wasn't healthy. But anyhow, I I tried to get out of the restaurant business. So I went to PCI Technical Institute to become a computer programmer.
Okay.
And for people that know me, I'm not, they're like, what? Like you were going to type on a computer all day? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought I wanted. Sorry. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And so I took a serving job at Morton's. I had been to Morton's one time in Chicago.
So still one foot staying in the industry.
Yeah, I had been to
Just
Morton's.
to be sure.
I had been to Morton's one time in Chicago for prom, and all I remembered about it was it's super expensive.
Yeah.
And it was a big party, so they added gratuity, and I did the math on what the server made in my head at prom, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy, he just made $240 on one table, you know?
Yeah.
And so I applied to be a server at Morton's. I got fired from Hard Rock. We can talk about that or not, but
That doesn't matter unless you think it's a lesson learned for you.
well, don't punch anybody in the face at work. That's never a good thing.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Server deserved it. He threw a milkshake in my face. Long story anyway, but if he's listening, I still owe you one.
Come to Prime 47.
No, actually, don't come to Prime.
Yeah, my wife's going to hear this and she's going to be like, you did not.
Go to Friendly's across the street from the new
I don't remember his name, thank God. But anyhow, so I'm a server and I'm going to this technical institute and I start in October and we get to January and I'm 3 weeks into class and Morton's comes to me and they're like, we want you to be our food and beverage manager.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, what does it pay? It's like $42,000 a year. And at that time, the field I was going into, after 3 years, I was going to make like $52,000 a year. And I had a baby and bills. And I was like,
typically bills do come with the babies.
yeah, I was like negotiating, and really thinking about it. And I have to tell this story because he's one of my greatest mentors. I think he's still with us. But Robert Wagner was an attorney downtown and he frequented Morton's. And I asked him one night after a few bottles of wine, I said, Robert, I got this dilemma. What would you do? And he took out $100 bill and he folded it up and he gave it to me and he slid it across the table. He says, you put that in your shoe till you get your degree, because a degree is like a $100 bill that nobody can take from you. You always have it to fall back on. So I took his 100, I went and bought diapers, and I quit school and I took the management job. So
that's great.
So I did that, and
is his firm Wagner and Lewis?
Or
was his firm?
I think he started a firm that was just Wagner, and then his children or the people that replaced him merged.
Okay, because
I believe
one of our legal representatives for Jonik and I is Wagner and Lewis.
Yeah.
They're a great firm.
Yeah.
Been around forever.
It is Wagner and Lewis. It definitely is. John Lewis, I think, and Robert Wagner started
I think so.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that
I
was
digress.
his firm. That was his firm.
We'll get them on the show.
So, I take the F&B job and then,
Food and beverage.
Food and beverage. They're short a cook, so they throw me on the line at night. So I'm making a salary, and then they're paying me a little bit extra to cook. And then they need a server one night, so now I'm serving at night. So I'm working
Getting a couple
double
tips.
shifts, and maximizing my income. And literally like 5 months after that, they say, we need you to go to Columbus, Ohio, and help us for 3 weeks.
And about how old are you about this time?
Oh, this is like 2000, so I'm 25 years old.
So young, yeah.
Yeah. So I say, yeah, I'll go, whatever. And then like literally before I leave Columbus, they're like, we want you to be our assistant general manager, but you got to move to Cleveland. And Cleveland gets a bad rap. It was a great city. I really enjoyed Cleveland. I spent 9 glorious months there under a great mentor named John Roberson. Taught me a lot about hospitality, a lot of what we do today to build a culture, being really tough on the standard, not on the person, and just really delivering an exceptional dining experience came from him, and then another mentor of mine, which I'll mention as we progress through this story. But that was a real, those 9 months.
But I want you to say that sentence
solid.
again, because that was really good.
Tough on the standard, not on the person.
Yeah.
That's our mantra. Yeah.
That's good, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Which sometimes people, they take it personally, but it's really not.
It's not.
It's just not. It's the standard, and we're very clear about it up front. And it's what it takes to GSD.
And that's the thing. If you're clear and transparent with what you're expecting someone to do, and you inspect what you expect, then there's no confusion. So when someone doesn't do,
Shouldn't be.
no, but there's no confusion when you can sit back and go, we were very clear with you.
Yeah.
You're not doing what you were supposed to do, and you weren't.
Yeah, they know. They know.
And if you don't know, then we failed.
That's how when we terminate people, we just say you don't want to be here.
Yeah,
like this isn't.
You knew this. You knew this conversation was about
this.
To happen.
This isn't for you. Like you're not enjoying your time here, and we're not enjoying your time here. So
I had a mentor tell me one time, if you have to fire someone, they don't know it's coming, you failed them as a manager.
100%.
And if you really think about that, you're like, yeah, and exactly what you just said. Okay, continue. So now are you in Ohio at this point?
Yeah, I moved to Cleveland. My second son was born in Cleveland. He'll be 24 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
Nice.
And that lasted 9 months, and I got a phone call that says, we'd like you to be the general manager, and of all places, it's back in Indianapolis, which they never do.
Right.
I was the youngest GM in the history of their company. I still might be at 20. It had literally a month before my 26th birthday, about 18 months after I started at Morton's, from server to general manager.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fast track.
Yeah. Was rookie GM of the year out of, 25 or so candidates, guys and gals.
So how long were you with?
I was there from, all in 1999 to August of 2003.
Okay.
I left. I bought the majestic Oyster Bar and Grill, which was a block away. They've also since added non-competes to their general managers.
Just a little trailblazer, weren't you?
Yeah. I was being heavily recruited by a guy out of Milwaukee, Johnny Vassallo, who's the second mentor I'd like to give a shout out to, that taught me an extraordinary amount about standard and dining experiences. And we differ a little bit on how we run restaurants, a lot of it probably. But
that's okay though.
Yeah, but he really drove home that everybody has good food. You can get good food at a dozen places, at a steakhouse level in this town, if not more, probably more than a dozen. But what people will come back for is how you make them feel. You know? And one of my partners, Kim Arbuckle, he always says, people don't care how much you know, they just care how you make them feel.
It's true.
And
you're in the people business.
That's it. So we focus heavily on that.
Yeah.
And so I opened Moe's in 2003, and it was pretty popular early. We got a pretty good reputation. I really perfected how to train a server to pay attention to things that perhaps other restaurants don't.
Okay.
And it's really a bunch of little things.
Right.
And we enjoyed great success. In 2008, I bought Johnny out of that restaurant. I actually bought that. I bought his Milwaukee location and the brand rights. And we decided to grow. So we started looking around. Clay Terrace was our next venture, which, both downtown and Clay Terrace, the Moe's are in the same location as the Prime 47s now.
Okay. So is that when you opened up Prime 47 on the north side or no?
Well, it took us about 2 years to get that launched, and start construction. We opened in 2011.
So you leave Moe's and then open up?
No, Moe's stayed downtown. We had just opened up a second Moe's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So originally up here was another Moe's or no?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that.
That's where Prime 47 is now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So then what made
and we had the Milwaukee location, and then we started development on Cincinnati.
So what changed it from Moe's to Prime?
That's a long story. We opened up a couple other concepts. Detour American Grill, which is where Monterey is now.
Oh, I remember Detour. Yeah, for sure.
I opened that one, sold the rights to expand it to a couple guys, and they put it in several other locations. And then we opened up a nightclub, Pan Asian restaurant nightclub, which I think was probably
right next door.
Downtown, called Sensu. That was a taste of Sensu. It was a very small one.
Okay.
But we had a big one downtown.
That opening?
At Sensu?
It was a great place, yeah. I've still got the chopsticks I got.
Man, that menu, Thomas Melvin, shout out to him. He's the chef at Vita right now. He put together just a world-class menu. Probably my favorite restaurant I've ever dined at. But Indy wasn't ready for the small plate tapas style.
Correct.
And it was a nightclub, so, we had a lot of people come in with a party of 15 on a Saturday and split 3 sushi rolls, have a cocktail, and try to avoid paying a cover charge.
Right.
Well, we just had dinner. Well, actually, no, you spent like $83 and sat there for 2.5 hours to try to save $5.
Right.
God bless him.
Yeah.
So that didn't, the restaurant didn't work.
But if you don't mind, you said it's one of your favorite dining. That was one of the coolest restaurants I've ever been to.
Thank you.
You're saying this.
Yeah, it was a really cool. I'd been there probably. I wasn't living here then, but when I would come back,
I think after I ran the mini marathon, painfully so, I think that evening I went to this club, and I'm pretty sure this is the same place. And there was a bar, and you guys moved the chairs from the bar.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a real quick story, and I won't make it too long. But so I'm sitting in the chair, and this guy comes over to me. He's like, you gotta get up because we're moving the chairs.
Yeah.
And I had just ran. My feet are killing me. I'm dressed up though. I'm properly dressed.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not starting any trouble with you. I can't really move.
Did you tell him you ran?
Yeah. I go, I just ran like 13.2 miles and I'm a non-runner. And he goes, I appreciate your honesty, but you're going to have to move. And I go, can you just give me a few more minutes and I'm going to get up, but I'm not being, and he goes, yeah, no problem. And then he started moving everyone else.
So he was hospitable.
Yeah. And I was so painful. If anyone's not watching and just listening, you can just visualize me standing on broken glass is what it felt like. Yeah. I was miserable. Anyway, so I had been there before.
So that, that restaurant failed spectacularly and it cost a lot of money and it ultimately led to my departure. And in that process, they changed the name to Prime 47.
Okay. Yeah. And so the Prime 47 downtown and the Prime 47 here are two different owners.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Downtown's changed hands 3 times since 2013. I resigned from the company. And in 2014, we bought just the Carmel location back.
Right. That's awesome. So you've been the Carmel location solely or just Prime 47 has been for over
11 years.
11 years, yeah, 10 plus years.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're up in Carmel.
Uh-huh.
And you're killing it. You're crushing it. And Carmel continues to develop.
Yep.
And you have your regular patrons that are always coming in, and you've got great customer experience. You don't have high retention. I mean, you don't have high turnover. So what's the secret that allowed this to happen that didn't work necessarily for these other restaurants, do you think?
The steakhouse model always worked. Moe's was very successful in the locations we were. It was more, I went through a divorce. I opened a nightclub. Probably drank too much.
Right.
It was the most expensive restaurant I ever built. A friend of mine since then said, if you always bet the farm, you only have to be wrong once. Which
that's a true statement.
It's a true statement. So
scarily so.
So my departure was basically my investment group. Great guys. I don't hold any ill will. They lost money. I lost money. They wanted to fix Sensu by changing the steakhouse model.
Right.
So they wanted to do away with like live music and the Pacer sponsorship and advertising in Carmel and change beef vendors and fish vendors to people that, might save you a few bucks, but weren't the same quality. So I basically refused to fix the steakhouse model that wasn't broken. And it ultimately led to my resignation. And I had moved on. I was again out of the restaurant business.
Right.
Doing some other things, consulting in restaurants still here and there.
So this is now like the 5th or 6th time you've gone out.
Yeah, God just keeps pushing me back.
I'm just reminding everyone, all the listeners.
It's really a great story, and faith is extremely important to my wife and family and I, and it was God's way of pushing me towards my calling. And my wife says all the time, like, our restaurant now, and you've alluded to the philanthropic aspect of it. And we've raised over $1 million for charity, probably 9 years in a row, except for COVID. And it's not our money we're giving, but it's the platform, and it's having groups like yours in. And now we do the catering at the Lucas Estate, Lucas family, just amazing people and way more philanthropic than I could ever dream of being. But they open up that estate exclusively for philanthropy.
Right.
And we're the caterer there, so we've been able to expand our platform and raise even more monies and help raise even more monies through dining experiences,
right,
and unique events for charities. So it's probably been 8 of the last 9 years, excluding 2020,
Yeah, so out of the charities, so Sweetway Cancer, we started in 2015. Myself, Mark Stoner, Tommy Nelms, there was a few of us. And the very first year we raised $15,000 selling T-shirts or something, right? But we had set up the charity wrong, and we set it up to help up for cancer research. And we meant to set it up. We checked the wrong box.
Got it.
So we actually physically had to give $15,000 to cancer research, was actually the 100% opposite of what we were trying to do. Right. So then we corrected it, and then we've done stuff like Anthony's Chop House did a nice dinner with us. We've done stuff with Danny Boy, Brockaway Pub. We've always raised a handful of dollars. Yeah. And then when I first, I don't remember how it happened. We were having dinner one night in your restaurant, and you had brought it up. We were probably at one of the wine dinners. I think
you attended a wine dinner we were raising money for.
Probably. And then I was like, man, if you could do that with us. And I just got some numbers the other day from Elizabeth because, again, she's a rock star. And so one of the first years we raised over $20,000. The next year we raised like $25,000. This last year, and we've done this multiple years in a row. This last year we just raised $35,000. Yeah. So we've raised over $100,000 to help Sweetway Cancer, and it's our biggest fundraiser that we do in the country. When our average fundraiser is like $5,000 or $10,000. Yeah. So it's like, and I know that's specifically for my charity. And 100% of the money goes back to help individuals affected by cancer. So we don't take any money. We're all volunteers. The shout out I want to give you and your team is each year when we do it, it's like it's the same people. They are in there. They are invested. Like they're invested, and I feel like they're not like, oh, this is it's another party we got to do. Like they're having fun, and of course th're working, right? They're not. I'm sure.
They're bought in.
Yeah,
they're bought in.
Right.
They know that in this business we serve all people.
Right.
And the community is important to us. Carmel, as you know, it's very tightly knit.
Right. And do you guys do an event once a month? Every 2 months?
At least once a month. Yeah, we probably do 14 or 15 a year.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And then another 35 to 40 a year at the Lucas Estates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Our social calendar is full of events, and we've gotten to meet some great people such as you and Jonica and people, what we do is the easy part. You guys do the heavy lifting. You're the volunteers. We still get paid to do it. We do donate a lot of experiences and
sure you do,
and
sure
help out. But at the end of the day, we're just using our platform.
And even little things that you guys donate, then I say little that to you they seem little, but to people they're huge. Besides the backyard barbecue, by the way, which is an amazing donation. 20 people come and eat and drink. I've been to a couple of them. They're awesome. But
we've raised over $220,000 this year just on backyard barbecues.
That's awesome
for charity. Yeah.
But there was a couple that ended up buying this trip to Florida, and they have several kids, and it was like 5 or 6 total going to Florida. And you threw in round trip plane tickets for them.
Yeah,
just because you were up on the mic and you're like, the bid was going, and you're like, and you know what? And I'll fly everyone down there on a plane. I'm like,
that's my personal contribution.
Yeah, so it's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because when you talk about, your faith and your the people that are working with you, and they follow your model.
Yeah, we hope. We want to leave people better than we found them. Yeah. So whether they work for us or dine with us or are in partnerships with us or vendors, we want to leave them better than we found them.
And how do you like working with? So your wife's Nisa.
Yeah.
How do you like working with your wife?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. She's great.
She just looked at the camera. Wink, wink. No. I'm just kidding. She is awesome. She's a home run.
She's incredible. Her passion and just compassion for people is inspiring. She's made me better in every way, and she continues to pour into the community and remind me of our why.
Right.
And which is leaving people better than we found them. And she really is the engine that keeps it going.
Yeah, I love it. She walks into a room and she comes in with a smile, and everyone leaves with a smile.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very like I don't want to even say energetic. It's not the right word, but very
she's the kindest person I've ever met, and she's never too busy for any of our children or anybody.
And I
don't know how she does it.
Yeah, and you foster children too. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey. It's been on her heart for a long time, and
because 6 isn't enough.
Yeah, 2 are grown. Yeah, so it's.
But you're still dad and mom.
My apprehension My apprehension with it wasn't with helping foster kids. I hate seeing kids in a terrible situation, and the goal is always reunification.
Right.
They got a skull fracture, and their goal is reunification. That's what I struggle with. But her perseverance and faith through it have led me to get on board, and we're on our, as of this morning, we're on our 4th or 5th placement. We've had everywhere from 4 hours to 7 months or 7.
Oh, wow.
So,
and you had mentioned that, so you got to call at 3:00 in the morning. So then they place it.
Yeah, we got the call at midnight.
Right.
And they were actually at Riley being checked out, and then they were going to get to us at some point.
Right.
It ended up being about 3:18.
And if anyone was be interested in wanting to get in that, how would they do that?
There's a lot of avenues. We went through our church, I-Town Church. I-Town pastors Dave and Kate. Kate's mission is children. It's all child-based. And they've actually worked with the state to come up with a fast-track fostering system, so they really simplify it, and they take a lot of the red tape out of it, and it goes from being a 90-day process to like a 3-week process.
Right.
Which, was music to my ears. I don't want to be going on interviews and filling out paperwork for 3 months.
Right.
So that's what really led us to it.
Right. Well, that's awesome. I'm sure you're touching people's lives that you probably don't even realize the impact that you're doing.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, when you get to heaven, hopefully somebody, sometimes you're the only Jesus people see.
Yeah.
It might be new for your podcast to talk about Jesus. I don't
know.
No, but sometimes, the only people Jesus get to see is you.
Yeah.
And are you serving them appropriately?
Yeah, I love it. Back to the restaurants real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So opening down south.
Yeah.
What's this process going to be for you?
We started construction. We're actually buying the land in the building, which is new.
Oh, okay.
It's the first restaurant that I've ever actually owned the facility and
the land.
We won't open another location where we don't. We're in a partnership in Fishers. We're going to launch Fishers late 26, most likely early 27.
And will that be in that whole new development area?
Right in the parking lot of the event center.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's two restaurant buildings, about 33,000 feet total, with BW construction. So they're going to have, or it's a co-op. They're going to have some ownership in the restaurant.
Right.
We're going to have some ownership in the project. And we look forward to opening in Fishers. But first is Greenwood. We hope to open mid-October this year.
And it'll be another Prime.
It's not going to be a Prime.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked. No, we feel with the different ownership groups of Prime 47 downtown and Prime 47 Carmel, it's time to rebrand. So we're working with a local media company. We haven't signed the agreement, so I'm not going to put that name out there yet. But we are rebranding Greenwood, and then we will be announcing that Fishers will be next, and then our lease is up in Clay Terrace February of 2028, and we're going to be relocating that to a lot we own at 161st Street in Meridian and at New Lantern Commons development that's on the east side there.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll have a freestanding 12,000 square foot building.
How big's your building now? Or I should say, how big is it?
9,000.
It's 9,000.
9,000.
I feel like it's a good size.
It's a good size.
Yeah.
But a lot of that square footage is going to be an open air second floor terrace.
Okay.
So indoor outdoor space.
Right. Now, are you what's exciting you the most? Opening up Greenwood, Fishers, or moving the to 160th in a few years?
Just all of it.
Yeah, I love it.
All of it. Yeah, our goal now is to build a brand, and we're gonna take a shot at expansion. And there's 2,400 high-end eateries in the country, and because of the way the world is trended, there's very few opportunities for these general managers to grow.
Right.
They kind of cap out at $1.25, and they if they become a regional with the company, which there's a much smaller percentage of regionals than general managers, they might make 150, 160, but then they're having to travel and leave their family all the time. So in the spirit of leaving people better than we found them, we really want to provide an opportunity for them to franchise.
Okay.
So we're working with a franchise consultant, and
that's a lot of work.
We have 2 banks online already that with a 670 credit score and 15% equity capital, they'll approve loans for a proven concept. So Main reason we're expanding is to have 3 proven concepts. We have 1 very durable, long-standing location. Now we want to prove that we can create, at least 1 more, if not 2, in Greenwood and Fishers.
So will they be the same concept?
They will. All 3 will be the same concept.
Okay.
We'll rebrand Carmel when we relocate to Westfield.
Okay. And Westfield, and just to make sure I got the timing right, the Westfield will probably mimic the time that your lease is up.
It will.
Yeah.
It'll be early 28.
Early 28. So in a perfect world, things work on schedule. Greenwood happens soon.
Yep.
Then Fishers, end of 26, maybe 27.
Yep.
And then
A year later, Westfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a great team. I couldn't do it without them.
And for kids living at home, and because there's 6 together, and then you're fostering.
Keeps me young.
Yeah, and
I don't look young, but I feel young.
Yeah, you look great, man.
Thanks.
You guys both. I love when I see you guys out at other charitable events that I go to, and I run into you randomly.
Yeah.
And you guys, your smiles come into the room, and it always makes Jonica and I happy.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you on a flight in first class like we have a couple times.
Yeah, that's
going somewhere.
That's also fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
Justin, do you have anything before we wrap it up? We've been at almost an hour. Before I give him a little gift over here, but.
Well, I was curious. I did a lot of work in the restaurant industry, and you remember those Chi-Chi's restaurants?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I remember, I kind of bartended my way through college at the Chi-Chi's, and the training program that they had, I think, resembles probably a lot about what you do. So how are you managing training between the restaurants? I'm assuming you've got, your SOPs in place and things like that.
Yeah.
And what kind of thing can you talk about there, like keeping it consistent within the restaurants? Because there's some restaurants you go to and like this location, the service is great. This location, not so much.
Promoting from within is big. We already have our entire Greenwood management staff in place. They're already in training in the Carmel location. None of them worked in the Carmel location prior to. But the reason Fishers works is we have people in our Westfield location that have worked for us for 5 or more years that are ready to move up. So, they know the culture, they understand the standard, they understand the guest experience and our goals. So we got a great management team in place in Greenwood. We went and recruited the chef de cuisine from Maple and Ash in Chicago. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah, of course. Come
My
on.
favorite place.
Yeah.
They really understand guest experience, and do a great job. So we recruited him to kind of head up the culinary aspect of it. And then the front of house, we just have a really deep bench of really talented people that are probably above their position now. So, we're almost obligated to create a better life for them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because the show, obviously, Everyday GSD, but listening to you talk, it comes so naturally for you to GSD because you've been doing it since you were, doing dishes as a young kid, getting in and out of the industry, trying some things, going into different career paths, and realizing your foot keeps going back to the industry, going back to the industry.
I just keep getting called back.
Yeah, you just keep getting called back. And, I said, you have a beautiful family. And when I say a beautiful family, I don't mean just your beautiful wife and your children, the family that you've created at your restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just nice when you can go to a restaurant and just feel like you're just at home.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not the only one that thinks that here in Carmel or the surrounding areas. But listen, I'm gonna
I will tell you one more thing.
Yes, absolutely.
If I didn't have shit to do every day, I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
My mind is not situated to rest or relax or hang out. I got to keep myself busy or I play too much golf or do too many stupid things.
Too many stupid things.
Yeah. I got to get stuff done. Let's go.
I love it. Well, I have a shirt for you here. We'll take some pictures after, but
thank you.
I wanted to just thank you for being on the show. I know you're very busy, obviously, with everything you've got going on, but thanks so much. And please give my love to your wife and family.
Yeah, I will.
And I'll see you in the restaurant soon.
Thanks, baby.
Thanks, brother.
Bye-bye.